Well, hello there beautiful shrimp people. In today's video, right, it's going to be my shrimp Saturday video. So typically I will do my maintenance in the weekend. Last week I think you saw me do my Neocaridina tank water changes. So this week I'm going to do my Caridina shrimp tank water changes. So for that, this is all this rack here, and there's two tanks at the back and one tank over here. Right? So what I'm going to basically do today, guys, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to have a look at my tanks first to visually inspect the tanks, because this is what you should also do. I normally do this daily, but when you come into the shrimp room you should also inspect your tanks and see if they need anything first, right? So we're talking about things like leaves, if the soil is adequate enough, and are the plants doing okay, is there too many floating plants, right? So this is something you want to do. You want to come in and inspect your tanks, right? And so we're going to do that first, and then we're going to hop over to my RO water barrel, and we're going to actually prepared the water for the tanks, right? So because I've not long moved here and my tanks are, I would say, very minimally stocked right now, we're going to do minimal water changes. So it's going to be very small water changes, maybe 5 or 10%, something like that. So we'll drain the water, and then we'll add the water back in. We'll fix anything that needs fixed. If there's something missing or if I need to do something, we'll do that as well. So there you have that in store. Let's have an awesome Saturday morning with lots of coffee and shrimp content. Guys, like the video as well if you enjoy this kind of stuff. Okay, let's go. Let's have a little look at our tanks and see what the state of play is, guys. Let's have a look. We're going to go from the top across, and so with these tanks that are empty, as I said before, I'm looking for signs that we could add shrimp. Yeah, I can see a lot of copepods in here now, so I would say this tank is ready. The other good factor with this, I can see up here, if you can get past all that glare, is the salvinia is growing like the clappers in this tank. I put a tiny piece in. I like to put a tiny piece of salvinia in all my tanks like this, look. Just for the shrimp to come up and munch around the roots, and you can see it's growing really fast and see in here. So this tank is ready for shrimp, I think. Let's have a look at this tank. Anything new? I can see they've been munching away on the leaves quite a bit here. Let's see, I'm looking for baby shrimp because there was a lot of activity in this tank yesterday, like someone had molted, and normally when someone molts in this tank it means that there is baby shrimp somewhere. Do you see what I see? Baby shrimp. This one is very small, like a newborn. Guys, I'll try and get some macro footage up here for you. You can even see I'm looking at the wrong place with the big camera. I did actually see one over here yesterday, but they're so small and they're newly born. Yeah, I can't see any more than that, so it's good new leaves. This tank needs new leaves. We're not seeing any crystal red shrimp babies in here yet, but this one was very new, this tank. I need to remember, guys, and start to label when I do stuff in my tanks, just to keep my mind on top of things. Let's see, do we have copepods in here yet in any decent numbers? Because this is one of the ones we're waiting on to add shrimp. The tank looks like it's ready for shrimp, but let's see, can we see copepods? I can see a few worms floating around in the tank, but not really the copepods. So this one's still not ready. This one has less visible green algae, but it's starting to grow. Copepods, I can see one or two. Again, still not many, right? So we're too early with this. Let's see. So as you can tell with this middle row here, I've increased the light, right? I have a little theory. If you wait to the very end, I'm going to share it with you. Let's see, these guys are doing fine. There's no major plant in this tank. Maybe that's something we should change. Maybe add some Java moss to that piece of driftwood or something at the back. This tank is doing okay. I can see a baby shrimp there. One baby shrimp, that is odd. Did they have babies in here and I didn't see it? Let's see, can we see anything on the sponge? I don't see the adults, but I can see one baby shrimp there. Oh, I see another baby shrimp on the sponge. Oh, and one in the corner. See at the very back? Another one. So they've had babies in here and I haven't seen them. And there's another one over there. It's awesome. It's one of the best feelings in the world when you come at the shrimp tank and you see babies. I'm not sure you guys can even see them because they're so far away. A lack of leaves in here, so we'll have to do some leaves definitely today. Buried girl away up here. So some of these tanks, guys, I'm not ready to give up on yet. You can see this one is starting to look quite nice. A lot of Java moss. We have buried girls in here too. The sides are starting to get lovely and biofilmy and green. As we talked about before, I'll share my little secret at the end of the video. You guys, some of you will be able to notice it straight away what it is I've done. I love the sidings, look at it, isn't it gorgeous? Lots of berry girls in here as well. Berry girl, berry girl. I'm just waiting on the babies. Let's see, can we see anything in here? Let's go around the side and have a look. This tank needs cleaned. I've actually tried to clean this with vinegar, get all this stuff off, and it still hasn't cleaned. I'm not seeing so much in here. Let's have a look on the bottom. How did our little shrimp do that we acclimated in the last video that we did on this tank? We put in 5 shrimp, remember? Looking good. Looking good. Right, so this one is one that was set up and we haven't done anything with it yet. Look at that lovely string algae just mopped onto the ground there. This has a lot of life in it, this tank. I can see lots of snails. You see little worms. Can we see any copepods? I don't see any. Right, so this tank isn't red either. We have one more over here, this tank. This water was green. Green last week. So let's see if we can see anything different in here. Yeah, this tank has tons of life. Normally when you get green water, it indicates like a little bit of a lack of too much nutrients. But this tank was newly set up, so it's quite normal to get green water in a tank like this in the beginning. Have I seen any babies yet? Because we did have buried girls in here. Oh, we do! OMG, guys. Please let them survive. I wonder if there's any near the front. Oh, there's another one there. You can tell how excited I am. Guys, if you didn't know, right, these are the shrimp from my boa breeding attempt. Remember that we did? These are the ones from it. So, the more babies we get from this, the better. Oh, I can't believe there's babies in here. I knew that the girls were buried. Once this water cleans up. By the way, green water is absolutely awesome for baby shrimp and baby fish and little animals in the tank. So yeah, don't worry about green water at all. Don't worry about it. I know it doesn't look like much to see, guys, but I'm excited for this, excited for these tanks. Let's go over here to our water barrel on this side and we'll start to prepare our water for our tanks, right? And then we'll, guys, the things that we need to do, right? We need to prep leaves, right? So we need to keep some water from these tanks to soak our leaves, because I like to soak my leaves overnight. So let's do that now. So I've taken all my lids off, guys. When I was looking at this one, taking the lid off, there was a female up here. And because when I looked into the tank, I saw like a little baby shrimp coming down like this, and I thought that's a bit unusual, seeing a baby shrimp away up there so high. It's actually another one there, you see it? You can see it past that glare. The female was up there, and there's another baby shrimp there as well, actually. I saw one come down, and when I looked up, there was a female hanging upside down there. And she'd obviously just given birth to these baby shrimplets, because I could see one there. Yeah, I can see quite a few in the glass along here. Let me just break out the macro camera, and we'll have a look at them as well. Because yeah, there's nothing better than seeing new baby shrimp in a tank. So you should be able to see some baby shrimp on the glass there, kind of about 3 or something over in the section. There's probably some in the gravel and around this little area here. Right guys, so as I said, I've taken off the glass. Right, let's go and prepare our water before we start to remove the water from the tanks for our water change. Right, so we did fresh reverse osmosis DI resin change on this a couple of days ago. So let's see just how clean our water is. If I can get this thing off with one hand, I can. If I can get it off with one hand, let's see how clean our water is. Right, so remember this is conductivity this measures in. How clean are you? 2, so that's less than 1 TDS, which is fine. For the basic little reverse osmosis unit that I have, this is perfectly fine. And it could also mean that this conductivity unit might need calibration. which I'll probably do off camera. Right, so the water temperature is 22.6 degrees, which is perfectly fine. The temperature in my room is 22.8, so the tanks should all be the same. So let's add our minerals, wherever it is. Let's see which one. Over here, that big container. Guys, I'm going to put you on a tripod so I can do this properly. Okay, one momentos. Alright guys, so yeah, you're way up there. You're taller than me. You're tall freaks. Let's get you into this. Right, so here is the stuff I use. This is soft water mineral GH+. Right, so this is exactly the same as the shrimp keeping one. This one's, I think it's meant for soft water Amazonia shrimp. Right, so if I remember correctly, we needed, let me think about this. I'm trying to remember what I used to use on my old setup because I've still not figured this out 100%. So let's start off with 5. Right, we'll put in 5 scoops. 5 scoops will be nowhere near enough for this amount of water, but it will give us a ballpark figure. Right? So we want 5 level scoops, guys. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, what we'll do is we'll let this mix for a good 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll measure the conductivity, and then we'll see if we need to add other things back in. If we need to add more, we will obviously, but it's just a test. Okay, one momentos. While we wait, guys, I thought we should start to do our water changes. While we wait, right? So that's a good time to do it when this is mixing over here. Right? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do minimal water changes in my tanks. I'm going to use my short hose here. You guys will remember that I did a video on doing a longer one. These ones are really close to the floor, so this one is just better suited, especially when you're sitting down. You can see what I mean. Pick the hose that is the right length. So we are going to take out probably in these tanks, what would it be? 5%, not 10%, just 5%. I see nothing wrong with the tanks. I see lots of berry shrimp, so 5% is enough for me. So let's do it. Guys, I have my water marked off, my water in litres on the buckets here, you can see. So it's very, very simple. You're basically going like this into the tank, putting the water in like that, and watching the number on the inside of the bucket, so you will know when to stop. Right, unfortunately, I have the wrong glasses on here, so I can't actually even see the writing on the bucket, the reading on the bucket. So I'm going to just have to guesstimate. We're going to go with 3 litres, I think, from each tank. And yeah, we'll do the rest of this row. And guys, I'll bring you right back, because we're going to add some leaves to this water that we are taking out here as well. So what was that? That wasn't enough. You see what I mean with my glasses? The point on doing such a small water change in these tanks, guys, is that you don't always need to do big water changes. All you're doing here is replenishing the minerals in the water. So this one should be 9 litres. And it is, you can see what I mean, how small these water changes are. And the next one should be 12. 12, yes. Because guys, what I would ideally like to do here is actually do my water changes on a basis of how high the nitrates are, but I'm actually struggling to find a really reliable nitrate test kit that is affordable, that's easy to use. Like for example, we have API test kits. When I use them, guys, my readings just look the same nearly all the time, so I can't really tell how high the nitrate levels are. Right, so I've looked into getting the HANA one as well. The HANA make a marine version of nitrate test kits that has a little digital display, and it can also be used with freshwater. I've been reading forums and stuff, and people saying, yeah, you can use it perfectly fine on freshwater. They've done comparisons where they've put control samples of nitrates into vessels of water, and then they tested it, and it's been the correct readout. So the only problem with that is it's quite expensive. In Norway, the HANA nitrate test kit thing is like $100 bucks, more or less, and you get 10 regions. Right, one region is one test. Right, so you can see my conundrum here is I have almost, what, 25, 30 tanks. It only comes supplied with 10 reagents. So I could do 10 of my tanks once. And if I want to do more, I have to buy more reagents, right? So they come in packs of, I think it's 25 reagents, and it costs roughly about $30 for another 25 reagents. Guys, I would be spending a fortune trying to do nitrate tests on my tanks. I just want something simple that I can, you know, take the water, test it, see it, and then do a water change accordingly. That's all I want. I can't afford to do it with the HANA one. So guys, if you have any suggestions about how I could do this a little bit better, or how I could do it more efficiently to save time and whatever else, leave a comment below. Right, let's get onto that bit of promise to show you, and that was, let's add some leaves to this water here, and I'll tell you why as well in a minute. Let's go. Alright guys, so I've split my water into 2 buckets here, so there's 6 litres in each bucket, and guys, I actually use walnut leaves in my tanks. I'm not sure if I've spoken about this on camera before, but I use walnut leaves. I got a lot of these from my friend Peter. You guys will know Peter. He got a lot of them from his supplier, and yeah, he gave me a ton of them as well, right? So let's put a good handful, maybe 2 or 3 handfuls in one of these buckets like this. You see them? Like this, they're just walnut leaves. And I like to soak mine because walnut leaves are really potent. Really potent. Like if you make like a tea from these, like if you put your leaves into the water and you see how tannic it goes, guys, it goes too far. It goes like a soapy browny colour, browny yellowy colour, and yeah, I've put leaves straight into tanks before. And yeah, I don't like the excess turbidity that it puts in. That's just like the excess organic matter and whatever else. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what's in walnut leaves. I mean, I know from doing gardening stuff that walnut leaves contain something that makes the soil sterile around the tree, so it's only the walnut tree that grows. I've seen this firsthand, guys. If you go to a walnut tree, normally the ground underneath it, normally there's no grass at all, it's just bare earth, right? And there's something in the leaves, so this is why I soak it, just as a precaution to get rid of this thing, whatever it is. So here's how I do it. Look, you see all these leaves floating in here. I just push them down with my hand, guys, and what I do is I will let this soak overnight. And then I'll do, again, I do mine twice, so I'm going to keep that water there. It's the other bucket that we have. And we are going to soak them for 2 days, and then I'll just go around and put them into the tank so you can see the leaves here. And the shrimp love them. It's one of their absolute favourite leaves. Let's get on with our water changes. Alright guys, let's test our conductivity and see where we're at, because I have drained all these tanks over here. So we are at 126, 127, which is really, really good. 127, so you're talking that's about 100. Yeah, it's not good, it's about 60 TDS, which is a little bit low. So I want this to be at least 250, right? So we need to add double. And we might also try something new here, guys, that I've never done before. We're going to add a little bit H2O2 to this water as well to super oxygenate the water before we add it to the tank. Alright, let's see. Let's get you in here. So we were talking, what was it, guys? Was it 5? It was 5, wasn't it? You see what I mean with my memory? I can't remember a thing. 5, so let's do another 5 level scoops. Our target is 250 conductivity US Siemens. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so that will put us right in the ballpark of about 125 TDS. Let's give that a few minutes to mix. While we're here though, let's do the thing we were talking about there that we're going to do that is new. We're going to add in some 6% H2O2. Right? I'm not going to put much in this, but I just want to make sure that the water is super oxygenated when we put in. So I'm going to use maybe 1 or 2 cups for this size of container. Guys, and for this size of container, this is a very, very weak solution. I know some other professional breeders that do this when they do a water change. So we'll give that a little 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, something like that, and we'll come back and we'll check the water again. You know, while I remember, let's start this pump, because this helps to mix it. Guys, the other thing while we're here, slightly off topic, but look at the size of this Venus flytrap flower stalk. Look at this, is grown in the house over winter. And yeah, it is growing like the clappers in here. Guys, one thing I've always done with these plants is I've taken a Q-tip like this, a cotton bud, they're called Q-tips in Norway, and I've gently grabbed the end and just rubbed it around like this, and this helps to pollinate the plant, self-pollinating. And what will happen with this is we'll get tons of seeds, and then I'll be able to grow more of these lovely little things, because I love Venus flytraps. Isn't that cool? You can see I did it already with the one in the middle. Alright, Shrimp Farm, our water should be ready. Let's have a little look. Let's give it a test. And hold. So our aim was 250. This says 249, so it's spot on. So this was 12 scoops in this amount of water to get this conductivity rate. So for you people that have TDS, this will be about 125, something like that. Guys, let's get on with filling the tanks. I'm going to use maybe time lapse for me filling the tanks. It would be a couple of seconds for you, and then guys, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about this thing that I was talking to you about in the very beginning of the video, and that is, I think I've found a correlation between one thing and breeding and keeping shrimp right. And guys, I've kept shrimp for years and never really thought about this thing, but I've been watching videos and I've seen it in at least 2 other professional shrimp keepers videos that produce like boa and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, they're doing something that I wasn't, so I'm now doing it, and I'm going to share that with you at the end of the video, right? So stay tuned. So guys, that is our water changes done. You saw my little time lapse there. What we're going to talk about next is the little correlation that I promised you at the very beginning of the video, if you watched this far, that I would share with you, because there's definitely a correlation between this and successful keeping and breeding of shrimp, right? And that is the amount of light that you have above the tank. It's very evident to me, in my eyes, that the more light that you have above the tank, the more biofilm and algae that you can grow in general, right? You can grow more plants as well. And I want to give you examples, right? You can go on to YouTube. I don't want to get copyright strikes. I'm not going to show any of their footage on here, but if you go to Vin's channel, any interview that Vin's done with bee shrimp tanks behind him, right, what you'll notice is in most of his tanks he has 2 lights above the tank, which look to me to be very powerful lights as well. And if you go to another guy called Mad Shrimp, he has a cool YouTube channel as well. He breeds lots of boa and all that kind of stuff. All of his walls are completely green, right? And one of the videos I noticed of his was that he had 2 lights up here, right? And then he had 2 lights over the tank as well. So what I'm thinking with the Asian type breeders is, what they're going for, guys, is lots and lots of light. And so guys, I've been doing this for, I don't know, shrimp keeping in general for about 20 years. And I'm still learning all this stuff, right? So you guys have seen I've been good at breeding shrimp on and off for a long time. And one thing that's always stuck in my mind, right, is I've never been consistently good at breeding shrimp. It always seems to happen in spurts, like I'll have lots of breeding in one tank and then nothing. And it seemed to be completely random. So I want to convey this, that this might actually be the solution, right? And that is more light. It's been hiding in plain sight all this time. It's true what they say on a lot of shrimp keeping forums. We speak to these professional breeders, that there is really, guys, there really is no secrets. If you consider everything that I've ever shown you in my tank has come from somewhere else, or my experience, none of it has ever been secretly hidden from any of you, right? So that's what I'm saying, guys. If you see people that have successful shrimp keeping tanks, follow what they do. Use your eyes, right? Look at all their entire setup, because this is one of the ones I think most of us, including myself, have ignored for a long time, right? And it's only now that I'm seeing that I needed to put more light on these tanks. That, yeah, wait a minute, maybe that is the issue, right? So we're getting more baby shrimp survival, more berry girls. Plants are doing great. The actual little animals that live in the tank are actually starting to thrive, and things are looking up in the new house and the new shrimp room. Guys, I don't want to blather on for too long, but guys, if you've enjoyed today's video, then please leave a like and subscribe. If you've hated this video and you think my channel is bullish, then please dislike, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Have an awesome Saturday. Have an awesome weekend. Happy shrimp keeping. Boom.